I'm seeing all these videos right now where all these farmers are crying about not getting no help right now. You know what? Let me ask you something. When have you ever heard of a black farmer crying about it? Never. And you want to know why? Because they ain't never got no help in the first place. That's right. USDA's literally admitted to discriminating against black farmers. And literally black farmers had to sue thousands of them to get what white farmers are handed for free. And fast forward to today, all these farmers crying that they can't get no help. You see, black farmers, they've been struggling. Y'all just now feeling what they've been feeling for over 100 years. Black farmers, they used to own over 19 million acres of land. But guess what? Systematic racism, denied loans, shady politicians, and legal loopholes wiped them all out. Yeah. And now they're 1% of America's farmland. When the government finally tried to pass relief for the black folk back in 2021, white farmers sued to block it, claimed it was reverse discrimination. Make that make sense. So, next time you see folks complaining about farm aid, why don't you ask them, where's the help for the black farmers? Ask them why their struggle is just now important when others have been suffering for centuries.
So I'm a black farmer, and a lot of people are wondering, why are black farmers not panicking like a lot of white farmers? Well, let me explain to you the reasons why. It's because white farmers have been handed everything to them. A lot of them. Not saying all of them, but a good bit of them. And by that I mean this. MLK even pointed out. He says, farmers in the West and the Midwest who were white, they were given land, they were given money, they were given training, they were given a lot. Whereas the black farmers weren't given anything, and the largest civil rights settlement in U.S. history is Pickford v. Glickman, where you had a class action lawsuit, bunch of black farmers all joined the lawsuit, and they won a huge settlement because the USDA was shown to be racist for decades. So because black farmers haven't been given anything, we've been learning to do without, unlike your white farmers. So when things are taken away from you, all your subsidies, all your tax breaks, guess what? You panic. Whereas we've always been going through this shit. So there's problems in privilege.
Have you noticed that there's one group that has not made any noise or made videos complain about Trump's policies hurting them or their business? Black farmers. How many videos have you seen of black farmers, making videos going, oh, I'm going to lose my farm because Trump cut off benefits. I'm going to lose my farm because the Department of Agriculture no longer gives me subsidies. How many videos have you seen of black farmers doing that? That's because black farmers have historically, till this day, been excluded from all government subsidies. So right now, every white farmer is learning how to survive the same way black farmers have been surviving. Like I said, what Trump was going to do was bring every white American down to the black American level.
4 years ago, they were crying because they couldn't afford their student loans. It's kind of strange, because if you're an expert in finance and you got college educated on finance, wouldn't you think you could take care of your finances in your own house?
I don't know, shouldn't you be able to handle your own finances without constantly relying on Dems to give you handouts and bail you out? Recognize this guy? This is a perfect example of why people make FAFO content. This is a perfect example of why regret is not the same as redemption. You may remember this guy from a video where he was crying about losing his farm because he spent a bunch of money he didn't have because he was banking on receiving certain subsidies that he was promised promised thanks to the Biden admin. And then when Trump got into office, the guy he wanted, and put a freeze on all the aid that was going out, including the aid going to American farmers like himself, he suddenly had a problem with the whole endeavor. People, of course, understandably dragged him, made a bunch of FAFO content, and then he came out and asked people to stop, kicking him while he was down, that he was here to listen and to learn, and that he didn't know about all this Project 2025 stuff. He'd had the wool pulled over his eyes. But now he's in pain, he's afraid for his farm, he's willing to hear people out. In fact, it sparked a conversation where people were saying, like, let's embrace these people who are regretting their choices and let's speak to them because clearly they want to learn. I'm not gonna say that everyone who has regrets doesn't want to learn. What I'm saying is that having regrets does not mean that someone has learned. Having regrets about doing something that would harm a lot of people simply because you're now being harmed, that's not a lesson. You're still operating completely out of self-interest. You have not learned anything. So what happened? Well, a bunch of people who have been pushing against this administration and all the havoc it has been wreaking, all the destruction it is causing, sued the admin over those frozen funds and successfully got those funds unfrozen, at least temporarily. So this learning and listening farmer got his funds released. Now he's fine. What do you think? Did he learn a lesson? Nope. He's now back to going after everyone else. He's now back to not listening to people when they're explaining how tariffs are going to harm the economy. For example, he's now making fun of people who took out student loans. If they're bad with their finances, what are you, dude? What are you? What is your farm if it cannot exist or survive without Dems bailing it out all the time? Yeah, when things get bad for you again, no one's going to be fooled when you claim to be listening and learning. Next time it's time for you to find something out, we're going to know. If you're not out there like working to undo the harm that you caused, I'm sorry. Your regret is not redemption.
Black farmers. Imagine how healthy we would be if we had more black farmers, or let's pretend we have only black farmers, right? I'm talking about the way that the Midwest is going to fall apart without federal funding, specifically all of these farmers, right? But one group that's going to do well is black farmers because they never got all of these handouts. And so I am not opposed to a strategy where we do let some of these rural Midwestern towns kind of fall apart on their own doing and take that as a redistricting opportunity. But think about this. Native Americans, how much healthier would our planet be and our land be if Native Americans had more farmland, which will be one of the groups that have the cash to do so. So I don't know, it's a silver lining I'm trying to think of. I was just trying to think if I've ever known a major farm or plant to have a food recall that was black owned, and if there is, I certainly can't think of it.
What's up, folks? Hope you're all doing well. I am Vikazo. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Thank you so much for always coming back to watch our videos. Now, across the country, we've seen a quiet storm that is brewing in the fields, where we've seen MAGA farmers, the farmers for Trump, the farmers who voted DT, the farmers who voted against their own interest, where they are panicking, sounding alarms, about what's happening, about what DT have decided on them, about the benefits that was cutted. We've seen everything about these farmers, the vanishing profit, the market that's not available again, and also uncertain future about their farms, because some of them are gonna lose their farm. Yeah, because of their choices, because of what they voted. But on the other side, there is silence. I'm talking about the black farmers. These people, they're just staying quiet. They are watching what's going on, waiting and working. For them, they're not, talking. They're not coming out and say that we're about to lose our farms. They're not, claiming anything. They are not even making any sound. We've never heard about the black farmers, and we know exactly that there are black farmers that are there, that might be suffering, okay? But for them, they just keep quiet. They kept it quiet. what I can tell you is that these people, man, they've been struggling. They've been struggling for many generations. They've been in the worst situation. They had a very bad treatment, so they faced a lot of, bad things. That's why, when these things come for the farmers, for them, they don't care. They don't, care about what's going on because, man, they've been in the situation and they know exactly what to do. That's why we've never seen black farmers. There have been a discriminatory lending practice. One of the most significant challenges for black farmers is access to loans. Okay, the USAID's long history of discriminatory practice, including denying loans and assistance to black farmers or offering them less favorable terms, has led to many farmers losing their land. Even today, black farmers face difficulties in securing loans from banks and financial institutions due to both racial bias and systematic inequalities. Yeah. That's what they face. Many black farmers have been unable to keep their land or pass it down through the generations. This issue of land loss have been exacerbated by inheritance problems where family land is divided and sold off, leaving descendants without access to the land that their ancestors worked and died for. That's another point, because there are people not given the right information or resources to keep their land in the first place. Now, black farmers have often been excluded from USAID programs designed to support farmers and ranchers. There have been instances of racial discrimination where black farmers did not receive equal treatment or support in securing disaster relief, subsidies, or other forms of government aid that white farmers receive with no problem. Black farmers continue to face limited access to resources such as technical assistance, agriculture training programs, and support network. This makes it more difficult for them to innovate and expand their businesses and compete in the modern agriculture market. Black farmers have been struggling from long time ago. Okay, there have been a lot of things that hinder the black people to do farming because the privilege is not there. Like, I'm not saying the specific privilege for black people. I'm saying the privilege for same privilege like other farmers they got. So right now, while the MAGA farmers are scared to lose their farms, while these MAGA farmers, they don't know what to do. So the black farmers, they are standing firm. Okay, they have been struggling. Yes, they know they don't have the same privilege as other farmers have, but for them, they don't care. They don't care. And then these people, I'm talking about the MAGA farmers, man, they voted against their own interest. So that's why we say, let them face the reality. Let them face it. They're the one who voted against their own interest. So they have to face the reality of what's happening. DT doesn't care about them. No. He doesn't care about them. He just wanted your vote. And you already gave him your vote. And right now, you're facing or you're about to lose your farms. Many areas, Nebraska, Iowa, many farmers there, they're about to lose their farms. Because let me tell you this. If you're saying that they're about to lose their farms, it's because, they have been getting the support from the government. So the government have been supporting them, okay? Now, these farmers, the government now cut the funds to support the farmers. So they cannot keep the farmers. They cannot keep the farms, okay? So it means keeping the farms is going to drain their pockets and then they lose the farm. That's what's going to happen. And another thing, they are not able to maintain the farm. So in the farms, there were immigrants that was working there. Now, these people, they went ahead and voted to deport immigrants. Now, immigrants are already deported. Immigrants are no longer coming to work in your farms. Now, what are you going to do? Are you going to work in those farms? No way. They are not going to work in the farms because they are not able to work there. So those immigrants were the support, were helping the people, were helping the farmers. Right now, they are not there. And, the payment was something not good. So imagine you vote to deport your workers. You don't have workers anymore. You don't have workers to come to work in your farms anymore. So what are you going to do? You are going to lose your farm. You're going to go out of business. Yes. Because all these things that are happening, you guys, you are the one who voted it. Yes. You should have considered, at least you should have thought, twice. I know you don't want to be lured away by a black woman. It's okay. It's up to you. It's up to your decision. It's up to what you think, but it's going to make your life miserable. You're going to lose your farm. Let's say that was the generations by generation farm. It means you got from your family. They've been keeping that farm for more than 100 years. So it's been there. You are the one keeping it right now, but you voted to lose it. That's the reality. You voted to lose that farm. And that's what is about to happen. And that's what is about to go on, because, you're going to lose it if you don't be careful. That's true. Right now, you don't have workers to come and work in your farms. So what are you going to do? That's the question. You are seeing farmers complaining, on the social media everywhere, where they're saying that if they got chance again, they will not vote, or they will not choose like the way they chose. That's what happened. Right now, they are regretting what they did. But for me, I don't believe them, because I know these people, they can go and do it again. Yes, if they got a chance, they can go and do it again. They don't care, because last time, they got a savior. Someone saved them and gave them the opportunity to revive their farming businesses. But right now, it's not gonna be easy. It's not gonna be easy. That's what's happening to the farmers. All right, guys, tell me, what do you think about these farmers? I'm talking about the black farmers. What happened to the black farmers, and the reality the MAGA farmers they are facing right now? What do you think about it? Let's keep our conversation in the comments below, and let's meet in the next one.